Well, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Brand image, customer experience, customer engagement. Now, it's been a little while since I've put a little video up, and obviously I'm going to do two parts to this. One that's going to go straight to the YouTube and one that's going to go on the LinkedIn channel. Now, it raised a few subjects, raised a few pointers, shall we say, about the last video. Customer loyalty and staff loyalty. So we're going to try and break it down. And I think a lot of business managers, owners, could do with watching the TV programme Undercover Boss. And the reason why is twofold. A, understand what the staff do, how they do it, why they do it, and what you've asked them to do, and what they're ending up doing. Now, I say that because I was talking to a lovely connection of mine who is actually an employee. And they say, I've got my job description and I know what I'm meant to be doing, but I can't do that job as I see fit because of the roles, the remit, and the lack of support that there is. My job description is very easy. Looked at it and went, yes, I can accept that job, I can take that job on. But a couple of years down the line, the management structure and the support isn't there. I'm left to do the best I can each and every day. And it kind of got me thinking that your staff you employ, you engage with, you build relationships with, you trust to do the best they can, but they need help. And the reason why I say this is that when you go into businesses as a customer, so put your customer's hat on, you go in various other businesses, the staff are the face, the front of that business. They are the ones you're interacting with. They are the ones that you believe can talk and make deals and negotiate on behalf of the business behind them. So for argument's sake, if you're going into a car showroom, you talk to the salesman, you believe the salesman has everything in place to be able to do a deal or find finance or, get the right colours, get the right parts for the car you require. You trust him to do that. You build a relationship with him or her, and that's what happens. So I need you to take your business hat off and put it as a customer. How do your frontline staff work? Which is why, in some respects, my company go out and do a lot of mystery shopping. We go into businesses and try and, be a mystery customer. And that way we can understand what's being said, what's being done. And it comes across a lot of the times that the staff are doing their best because they haven't got that backup, those procedures, that full training, or they've just been left too long. The business directors are off doing other things. Well, that moves us off into another area. Now, there's always a knee-jerk reaction to customer care, customer experience. Now, one that we're going to touch on a little bit later in the second part of this, which is the one that's going to go on to LinkedIn, is customer loyalty. Now, I am a customer and I go to various businesses, and I want you to understand the feeling of going into a business. Now, the reason I say this is that the customer experience is very much about old-fashioned values. People buy from people they trust. People don't go and buy a Lamborghini online. People don't go and buy Range Rovers online. People don't go and buy country clothing online. They go and they are seen and they feel, they touch, they look, they interact, they do their research. So they go out and they form this trust and this loyalty. Now, loyalty is something that we need to talk with massively, not just with your staff members, but also your customers. Because the minute you disrespect, you upset, or a customer doesn't feel that there's loyalty either way, they are giving you their hard-earned money, and they are giving you their time and their, I suppose in some respects, their loyalty. It's what you do with that can make the be-all and end-all to your business. Now, several businesses I've seen recently are slowly going downhill. And I say that because you've only got to look at the amount of staff that are there. You've got to look at the prices. And I say look at the prices because it's a knee-jerk reaction. and I've seen it in the last 20 years of business, it seems to have a very easy flow. A business starts to struggle, they start to get less customers in, they do one or two things. They either start offering discounts or they start putting their prices up. They start using the economic environment to put their prices up. This is normally because they're not getting enough customers through the door, and it is a knee-jerk reaction. That's something I talk to businesses about. If you want customers through the door, put the prices down. They will come through the door. But you've got to understand why they're not coming through the door. And this is the big problem that businesses have. Sporting venues are the worst. They will put on an event, but they won't have any way of collecting the results of how many customers came through the door, what they sold, what they bought, all the rest of it. So your analytics, your background research, your background numbers basically need to tell you the story. And if you're going downhill 5%, 10% on last year, you're actually in quite a bad position, because every year you should have growth, every year you should have more customers, they should tell more people. Now you need to understand that. So as we develop, we need to understand the negativity of customers. If a customer isn't happy, they don't come into your store, your premise, your business. But not only that, they will start telling people, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it might be a bad service, it might be bad attitude, it might be something that's niggled them. And they will start telling people because they're connecting with people, certainly on the social media. You know, I've seen more recently businesses that are slightly struggling. They do the knee-jerk reaction, they start discounting, products, or, all of a sudden we're doing this, and their prices have crept up a little bit, and the customers notice, put prices up, I'm not going there anymore. So it's gone from a simple disgruntled customer, a little bit of a bad apple, to all of a sudden now everybody in the orchard knows that you're struggling, and the word's going round. And when more and more customers trust more and more of their friends, your business is going to struggle. So we're going to talk about this a bit more on LinkedIn, so you're going to have to watch the video. It'll be on the YouTube later on. But I just want you to consider, your staff build the relationship with the customers. The staff can only do so much of what you tell them, what you train them, and the support you give them. The relationship they build with the customers is normally based on trust and respect and personality. So people buy from people they trust. People have got a lot more leisure time, shall we say now. They want to go out and spend their money and enjoy it. If your staff have a good relationship with your customers, your business will thrive. If your staff have a good relationship with your customers, but your customers are annoyed, or they feel they're being robbed, or they feel they're being taken advantage of every time they come, they're not going to be upset with the members of staff, because they are just members of staff at the end of the day. But they are going to slowly walk away from your business, and you're going to have no real understanding why. But as I said, the knee-jerk reaction for most businesses is to discount and or start putting their prices up. Now, yeah, we all appreciate prices need to go up. There is an economic climate. But there comes a point that if you're doing one or two things, you're discounting stuff to get people in the door, and then you've put the prices up, that screams struggling. That absolutely screams you are struggling. You want to put yourself in the customer's shoes and understand the message you're sending out. Now, there's a business local to where I am, and they are offering standard, end of season deals, blah, 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 no problem with that. But they're then offering half price stuff, stock clearance. They're trying to go out and buy bulk and then trying to offload it for as much as they possibly can. So they're trying knee-jerk reactions to get people through the door. They're offering half price deals. They're offering, it might sound attractive in your head. Oh yeah, we'll have a half price sale. We'll get people through the door. But you're actually then theoretically robbing the loyal customers that you've got that have paid good money for that stuff. So think about what you're doing and how you're doing it, because what you're actually doing in some respects is being very rude to your customers. Because if you can afford to sell it at half price, or you've bought it cheaper and you're having a deal, you need to offer that to your normal customers first. So just bear that in mind. Put your customer's hat on and go, what I'm going to do with my business, I'm going to offer this half price, this deal, that deal. Think about how your customers are going to view you. Because if they all of a sudden go, well, hang on a minute, I was in there last week and I didn't get offered that deal, you've just ripped them off. And when you've ripped a customer off, trust me, they won't come back and they'll start telling other people. Imagine how you would feel if you've gone in and bought some clothing one week, a jacket, some shoes, and you've paid, yep, it's good money for that. And then the following week, you see it on the internet, it's half price. Oh yeah, we've decided, well, why didn't you tell me that when I was in the store? I'm one of your customers. I'm in there regularly, you know who I am, and all of a sudden then you've just halved the price in a week. Imagine how you would feel. You'd feel ripped off. And when you feel ripped off, you certainly ain't going back there again. So bear that in mind before you do anything with your business.